Hi Andy, so we're here to talk about Twelfth Night performed by the Blackfriars Theatre. I've got my notes, got my camera, so we're gonna do this. Overall, I thought that when I saw the show, on the surface level of it, it was a great show. It was fun, it was enjoyable, it was exactly what I wanted to see. However, once you get underneath that basic surface level of just watching and enjoying, and you actually start to think about choices and minor errors in the show, it's a lot more flawed and rickety than you would initially think. So going in, I thought that the show would be loud and it would be bold. I thought that the new concept of having set in the 1920s, I thought there was a lot they could do with that, since its 1920s was a very all over the place decade. It was a very loud, crazy time. It would fit well with this kind of crazy story. The whole show is basically about two twins, Sebastian and Viola, who are separated in a shipwreck, and then Viola disguises themselves, becomes a servant to Duke Orsino, and then falls in love with Duke Orsino, who's in love with Olivia, who falls for Viola. And also, Olivia's main servant, Malvolio, falls in love with Olivia, and the other servants of Olivia's house decide to use that to prank him and make his life miserable. Main themes of the show are about unreciprocated love, because everyone's in love with everyone who is not in love with them. And also mistaken identity, obviously, because of the scenario with the fact that we have twins, and we also have a girl dressed up as a boy and acting their entire life as a boy. It happens. So, when it came to the actual performances of the actors in the show, there were definitely some hits and some misses. I loved Viola's actor. I thought that they were great. I thought that every time they were in a scene, I just was naturally drawn to them. And that's what should happen when you're the main character. One of my favorite choices that, I don't know if it was a directing choice or Viola's actor choice, but in the first scene where Viola is dressed up as Cesario and with the Duke, you can see how uncomfortable Cesario is with other things that are typically seen as masculine, tendencies. Because he goes to take a shot of the alcohol with Orsino and just can't down it for the life of him, because probably Viola never had to take a shot of anything. And also, when they go to dance with the other actors on stage, Viola instantly starts being ready to be led, but then realizes, oh wait, no, I'm the guy I'm supposed to lead, and has a lot of trouble with that. And I just thought that was so interesting to include, and was a great decision, because it reminds you, Viola has no clue what's going on or how to do this. It just was a really interesting choice to me. Orsino himself, he was more forgettable. I just feel like that with that character, even though he's only in 3 of the 5 acts, I feel like there was more that could have been done. I feel like he just kind of was there. The choice of the blocking with Cesario, again, I don't know if it's actor or director, but either way, put it in here. During the scene where both of them are drunk and Cesario starts basically grinding onto, Orsino starts grinding onto Cesario, I thought it was an interesting choice. I think it was a little too far. I like the inclusion of, oh, he definitely had feelings for him before all of this happened, but I just feel like it could have been a lot subtler of a way of doing it, possibly. Olivia, she was a fantastic actor, but I can't get back past the age difference. Just looking at her compared to everyone who was either in love with her or she was in love with, it just was such a stark age difference, and I'll talk more about how the costuming totally didn't help that. However, she did have fantastic chemistry with Sebastian. Honestly, out of all of the pairs, they probably had my favorite chemistry. Even though, they know each other the least and it's the most doomed relationship, just instantly when they meet, it's just a great match between the actors. So, speaking of Sebastian, I thought he did great. Honestly, Sebastian was always a character. I'm like, oh yeah, he's there, cool. But he made me actually care about Sebastian and made me, interested in what was going on in his part of the story. A lot of the servants I thought were hits or misses. Festi was fantastic. I love that the fact that they actually made her a girl rather than gender bent like the rest of them. I just thought that that added to the chemistry with Olivia, and it added for the Toby-Andrew flirting, but I feel like outside the 1920 setting, I don't know how successful that would have been. But Toby and, even almost Mariah, Antonio, I just thought they were kind of there, and nothing more than that. I feel like all those characters could have more with them. Andrew just seemed to try too hard. That's the only thing I can say about him. The actual servants and having the choice, this kind of leads into the directing, which is the next point. Having the servants who were constantly weaving through the rest of the backstage and weaving in with the musicians, and they were like pouring shots and cleaning up the rails. I just thought it was so good for the atmosphere of we're in the Speakeasy. I just thought that was a great choice to have. When it came to directing, honestly, besides the alcohol and the promiscuity, which again I think went a little too far, I don't think that they did much with the 1920s theme. I feel like there must have been ways that they could do more with that if they were gonna commit to doing it. I loved the scene and the scenic design and the setting. I thought that the entire stage was just gorgeous. I love the fact that they had the chairs right on stage and they kept interacting with the crowd. I also love the fact that they had Shakespeare garments in Olivia's dressing room, and they also had the swords on the stage, on the wall. I just thought that was a cool connection back to the Shakespeare that we started here with. Costumes, I thought they were great. I love the color and the brightness. However, some of them just didn't fit. Also, Olivia's costume, I feel like it just made her look even older. When she got married and had the wedding dress, I feel like that style of costume should have carried throughout the show, because once she was in that and in clothes that made her not look like an old maid, then suddenly it was more believable for me that, oh yeah, these people could all be in love with each other. Sound, I thought was good. I think that it got drowned. The music was great, however, sometimes it would drown out a bit of the rest of what was going on and kind of take over from that. Lighting, I love the change from when it would be backstage to when Festi would be performing. I just thought that was a great use of it. Overall, I thought it was a good show. It was a good time. There were lots of errors that needed to be fixed, but if you can just sit and enjoy what's happening in front of you, I think you're gonna enjoy this show. Also, we spent 10 minutes on the bus trying to figure out whose Speakeasy it was. I wrote that it was Olivia. A lot of people in the bus disagreed with me. I don't know, but I'm saying it was Olivia's Speakeasy. 6 out of 11. Have a good night.